You're listening to Never Heard of It, a Night Shift Radio production.
Yay!
I have that song stuck in my head now.
Which because I say we had like a couple that
we went from Beyonce to I've forgotten his name. I've lost all respect for
Lionel Richie.
There you go.
Yeah, who even are you?
I don't know, man. I forget. I can only remember one name at a time, and Beyonce won, so that was it.
Speaking of, on that Anderson .Paak album, did you listen to that, Caleb?
I have not yet. No.
The second song features Smokey Robinson.
Smokey Robinson.
Really? Yes. That record's amazing too. I would highly recommend you give it a once over at least.
Give it a whirl. I like it.
Give it a spin.
I thought it was new. Then I was like, oh wait, this is from 2019. Shit.
I mean, that's kind of new, especially because time basically
over in 3 months. Is it really though?
But yeah, I mean, time essentially stopped in like March of this year though. So
yeah, I'll give you that.
We're still floating in this like nebulous period where it's like March 187th. So it's still the first quarter of the year.
Speaking of time, hello and welcome to the Never Heard of It podcast, where we are the most amazing at segues. I'm your host, Michael Fight.
And I am Rutherford Behave.
See? Spoiler alert.
I tried it on. It fit. I liked it. I walked out the store with it. My name is Caleb. And of course, joining us, I guess I should segue this or set this up. The month of September, we are doing an entire month of listener requests, listener submissions. So those of y'all who have dealt with our bullshit for however long, and you reached out on the contact form and requested a movie, we're going to do a bunch of those. We're not obviously going to have time to get to all of them. We had a lot of great responses this month. So we are going to try to work those in later this year for those of you who don't get to, but we'll make sure we give everyone a shout out when we do. But joining us for a very special episode is my brother, Joshua.
Hello. Thank you for having me, brother.
And so
Rutherford B. Hayes.
Rutherford B. Hayes. There it is.
Nailed it.
So Joshua reached out to me one day and with a link to a movie and said, you guys got to do this one. And my condition was, yes, but you have to join us. And so here we are. And I think you probably regret your choice.
I highly regret my choice. I had not seen the movie when I said you guys should review this. I just saw the trailer, whatever train wreck of a trailer it was, and I was like, this is right up your alley.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, we also rarely see the movies before we choose them. We'll pass by them and be like, oh, that looks crazy. We'll watch that. And then we watch it and we're like, oh, fuck, yeah. Why did we do that?
Sometimes it's title alone or like a basic like concept off of like an IMDb blurb. Sometimes we see the trailer. A lot of times the first time I see the trailer is when I'm doing the month schedule on the website over at thenahoit.com. I'll like write up a quick blurb based off what I see in the trailer, and then I'll watch the movie like, oh fuck, I've led everyone astray.
What have I done?
What have I done? But of course, the movie that we're talking about, kicking off this listener submission month of September, is what is sure to be a classic and studied in film history for decades to come.
Oh,
and that
for all of the wrong reasons.
The movie is Snake Outta Compton. And I'm gonna come around and say, like, we are back in true Nahoit fashion right here. We had a really great episode with a fantastic movie last week, The Binge, a Hulu original made by Michael Fight's own Syracuse Studios. He was, solely and personally 100% responsible for the making of the movie.
The entire movie. Yeah.
But we're back on our bullshit, as the kids would say, and this movie is very true to form. Although I have to say, I have not had this much fun with one of these terrible movies in a long time, and maybe it's because we've just chosen such shit for so long that something like this was refreshing. I had a good time with it.
I also had a good time with this movie. I thought it was it has its issues. I mean, as all.
Oh my God, does it have its issues?
but I did find myself enjoying the majority of this movie.
It was about 20 minutes before I started watching the movie. I got a text from Joshua. What did I just watch? What the fuck did I just watch? Oh, goody.
And you were like, oh, this is going to be great. This is how we like it. Here. Yeah.
So, of course, Snake Outta Compton is streaming for free on tubitv.com. Should you choose to check it out, which we'll talk about at the end whether or not we think you should. But, as always, you decide. But, Michael, you want to tell us about this one?
Yeah, so we'll get started with Snake Outta Compton. So Snake Outta Compton, the best.
I have notes too. So whenever you get free, I have lots of notes.
Good. So the best way to describe Snake Outta Compton is somebody decided to make a parody of a bunch of basically black-led like cult classic films. I wouldn't say cult classic, but it's just classic films. So like there's Straight Outta Compton. Obviously, there's a lot about that. There's a lot about Friday. There's a lot about Training Day with Denzel. I mean, there's a direct rip-off character of Training Day who is literally just that guy. Like, it's that whole plot. We've got, obviously, the whole movie wouldn't even be a thing if it wasn't for Snakes on a Plane.
Which was just a glorious piece of cinema. I will stand by that movie till my dying breath.
Yeah, Cobra Starship made that famous song. Who was it? It was like Cobra. Remember, it was like the super emo group. It was like Cobra Starship and like Fallout Boy and like who were all the people that were in that? Do you guys remember?
Oh, I only remember Cobra Starship, and I just thought like, oh, that's a little on the nose.
Was that the dude from Midtown that was in that one, or am I thinking of a different electronic side project band?
I just know that one song, like maybe it was just on the video, but the one song for Snakes on a Plane, it was like Cobra Starship. I think it was like Pete Wentz or maybe Patrick Stump. And then it had like somebody out, like there was a couple of people from like there was tons of cameos in the video from like famous, emo rock groups at the time. And I can't remember.
You Make Me Feel. I'm trying to see if I can find any.
Was it?
Any reference to apparently. At least that's the first thing that came. Maybe not. That's just the first thing that came up in my search. So maybe I'm wrong. Let me see if I can find.
We'll find that. We'll link that music video below because it was just fucking wild. But anyway, so the movie basically starts.
Oh no, it is called Snakes on a Plane. Never mind, I'm wrong.
That's the one that it's called.
Yeah.
Did you just say Stanks on a Plane?
Stanks on a Plane. No.
Skanks on a Plane.
Skanks on a Plane. That's the next parody.
It's Skanks on a Plane. It's Ethan's, our friend Ethan, the herpetologist. Movie.
I figured Skanks on a Plane would be the ska version.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
I mean, in all fairness, we missed our ska reference last episode. So, we had to throw it in this episode because we've been doing really good of keeping up with referencing ska every episode for some reason.
It's actually what happens when oh God, what are some ska bands? Goldfinger and Mighty Boss Tones, they all go on tour together.
Yes, it's the plane they ride
when they travel.
That is the plane they ride.
Skanks on a Plane. Oh, that's great. So basically, it's kind of a mix of Straight Outta Compton and Training Day with a giant snake. So we have a rap group that the rap group is, they're getting together. They're like, we've got this big audition for a record label, which is totally a thing. I mean, that's how it works, right?
Definitely. Absolutely.
Totally how this works. And so they're going to do this big audition and they're practicing, but they have their nerdy roommate who is Verkle. For those of you that grew up in the 90s, it's a direct play on Urkel, who, the lovely nerd next door in the show Family Matters. But Verkle, after the beginning of the movie starts where we see, we hear a fake Samuel L. Jackson, being like, get these motherfucking snakes off this motherfucking plane. And the snake flies out of the plane and it's falling down out of the sky. And we get our Training Day introduction. So we get the cop who's acting exactly like Denzel. And then the white, cop who was like, what do we do? And then he was the best part. He's like, expect the unexpected, never be surprised, keep your calm. And then the snake lands. He was like, oh shit. And he was like, remember to stay calm. And he's like, it's raining snakes. This is fucking biblical times, man. This is no time to be calm.
So like the whole time he's giving his like, you know, expect the unexpected, you got to be prepared for anything speech. He's literally driving like at least 35 miles an hour on the city streets, but probably faster, with his head completely 90 degrees looking at his partner in the passenger seat. Not even an eye on the road at all.
Yeah, 100%.
That was part of my first note. So since this is literally the first 30 seconds of the film, and it's already a terrible green screen, like outside of a car window with really like the worst motion blur you could imagine. Like, I don't know if someone was just, I don't know how they were doing this effect, but they did it very poorly. And the dude was not looking at the road at all the whole time.
No, didn't even like turn to
Not
look
even
at
a glance. It was
Like
just.
that.
I did not even have a chance to suspend my belief. Not one single chance.
no shred of that. Yeah, so the snake smashes on the car, flips off, and then we're introduced to Verkle, who notices the snake, sees that the snake was pregnant, grabs one of the snake eggs, says generic nerdy things, and of course, then we're introduced to our rap group, and the movie carries on. And then
I have one more note from that scene too.
Oh, please.
The snake that he actually gets the baby from, like once it's obviously computer generated when it's flying through the air. Once it hits the ground and you see Stefan Urkel run over to the snake, if you look closely, it looks like just someone ripped open one of those door jam things to keep a breeze coming through the door.
100%.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
No,
And they just splashed it with jelly? I don't know.
Listen, creature effects are hard.
It's they spent all their budget on the animated snake later, and they were like, oh shit.
God,
they probably shot this scene last, and they were like, oh fuck, we ran out of money. Just grab your grandma's door jam and there's some fake blood on it.
There is definitely an angry grandma somewhere.
Yes.
You did what?
Why is there a draft in here?
I don't want to get too gross, but I've actually seen a pregnant snake. Like, saw one that got run over by a lawnmower, and like the babies, they're like worms, but with snake heads. It's really creepy.
Snakes are worms with snake heads.
What? What?
Dude, fuck snakes. Snakes are like the one animal that, like, I'm all for, like, if somebody was like, there's like save the whales, I'm like, yeah, save the whales, like save the dolphins, like dolphins shouldn't be in nets, like shit like that, like free Willy, all this stuff. If someone was like, yo, free all the snakes, I'd be like, all right, well, I mean, hang on. So I mean, that was a little one. I would be like, I can't get behind that. I'm sorry. I can't.
That's a little mammal centric. That's a little warm blooded of you.
You know what? It's true. I fuck snakes.
Reptile Twitter's gonna come for us after this one.
Oh God, they're gonna be so pissed. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I don't like snakes.
Don't spoil the mid part of the movie, Michael.
I know, right?
Oh, gross.
Oh, So now we're introduced to our rap group, who is made up of Ricky Flowers Jr. is the leader of our rap group, Cam. And so once we learn about Cam rolls up in the dopest tricycle I've ever seen in my life.
Right?
That thing was just
it's got ape hangers and like diamonds up and down the handlebars, and like the shit was real.
And
that is the only appearance of that tricycle in the whole movie too.
I know. I thought maybe
which
it
is
would play
very
a larger
sad.
role. Yeah, it was probably the best thing in the movie.
He just tossed
A
it
larger
aside.
role. Get it?
You fit right in here.
Yeah, this is good. You did good. But we also have Pinball, Neon, and who else? I think that's it, right?
We got Bee's Knees.
Oh, Bee's Knees. Yeah.
Bee's Knees.
Bee's Knees. And then, of course, later we meet, what's her name? Menorah? I think she said her name was. But what was her
She
real
goes by
name?
Rel. But
Relv.
when she did her farewell, it was menorah out with like a kind of a hand butterfly menorah thing going on.
Because she also has the Star of David
was
necklace.
kinda
Like she has
clever.
a bling, like a diamond encrusted Star of David necklace.
Well, I mean, she's in the music industry, so like she had to be Jewish, right? Like,
Right. I mean,
I think
we had to nail all the stereotypes.
Yeah.
If at all possible.
Got them. They're all there.
Yep, they did good. Yeah, so this is our rap crew. So Relv is like their connection to the music world. She works at a record label. She's the one who got them a gig. They're throwing this party to kind of like prep for their audition tomorrow. So the plot begins with Verkel basically getting the snake thing, going into his lab, which is just his bedroom, and then them throwing the party and starting the group. But as the party begins, we see that Verkel is using a growth ray because
like you do.
Like you do. I mean, if he's doing the whole, I don't know, Urkel thing, I guess he would play the science role, I suppose. I don't know. That's a thing. I don't know. That's what they do. Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Every nerd in a nerd roommate is crafting some kind of ray of some sort.
Sure. Yeah.
Like Cam's like, why do I gotta be stuck with a mad scientist roommate? I think that might be an exact line. It's something.
It is
like
something
that.
like
Oh yeah, I think you're correct.
Yeah.
If not, it doesn't matter because none of the lines really make any sense.
Yeah, it's true. No, listen. Like I'm not a rapper by any means, nor am I deep into the rap community. But I do like me some hip hop.
Yes.
And I just thought it was really funny that they like had the rap battle at the end, and the one guy was really terrible, and then they started rapping, and I'm like, but you're not good either. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're also not good at rapping. I don't really understand this.
Well, I mean, in the battle, they address that because he does have some flow, and like he kind of nails it later.
Yeah, but it was just the wrong beat, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the beat,
but also the flavor of hip hop was like about 25 years too late for this movie as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess if they were going off the Straight Outta Compton thing, but it is not. It was definitely not modern rap. This movie was made in 2018, by the way, or released in 2018.
October
the
2018.
The end of October. So, pretty crazy. I wonder what the budget for this movie was. It had to have been at least $1 million.
Are you serious?
It was like. I see the the look on your face and understand what's going through your mind, but like just kind of compared in general to movies with comparable budgets that we've seen, this is actually pretty high quality.
It really, I mean, like, it
was definitely going for that not another teen movie style vibe,
It did. It hit all of those. I mean, it definitely referenced so many movies. Like we listed them off in the beginning, but there was a lot of like, oh, we're gonna reference that movie. Okay, like cool. Because like when in the beginning of the movie, so they're having their rap group party, and it gets shot up by Ali G's, right? Is that what his name is? So Ali Jaws. Ali Jaws.
Who is in my opinion is like. Eric Erickman or something like that was the actor. But
Eric Paul Erickson.
Eric Paul Erickson. So like he's basically a Viking. He looked to me like if they had made Brad Pitt play James Franco's character in Spring Breakers.
Yeah, that sounds right. So wait, we got to pause about Eric Erickson. Eric Erickson has basically made a career out of making these sort of like parody films, like being like he was in Geo Disaster, which is like a play on every earthquake type movie.
Excellent.
He was in Jurassic Planet.
We missed one.
Yeah, we missed Jurassic Planet, and
we
then
could have done a triple header.
He was in Hornet, which is like it's like Bumblebee. It's like a Transformers ripoff, and then he was in Arctic Apocalypse.
I think Hornet is a Asylum film because I feel like I remember seeing that when we were scrolling through all of theirs. Yeah.
Yep. So
Eric made an appearance on Comedy Bang Bang as well.
Oh, cool. Oh, good for him.
That's interesting.
He's got some legitimacy to him. That's good. That's nice.
I mean,
Well,
The Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
ruined all that with this movie.
Yeah. So he was Mad TV Dam Sharks, not like those dam sharks, like sharks near a water dam, like dam sharks.
I mean, I'd watch it. Why not?
I mean, I'd watch it. We'll probably throw it on the list. Oh, he was in David and Goliath. Yeah. So I mean, he's been around. He just played a mountain lion in Comedy Bang Bang. That's.
Hey, I'm just reading his IMDb. I'm not actually saying it was good.
Right. I think that's great. I think it's so funny. They'll be like, all right, so our next audition, sir, how good is your mountain lion roar? Is that like what's your accent like in that? Anyway, so Ali Jaws, who is like the conflicting rap gang, insert gangster, bad guy of the movie. So he starts shooting up the party, which
with
triggers
a solid gold AK-47, by the way.
Solid
gold.
Yeah. Solid gold, motherfucker.
He does that trope that exists in movies like this, where he's the guy that has like he's got some money in the hood, and so people go to him when they need a loan. But then he comes back like the next day, like, "Where's my money with interest?" And like, I haven't even like. I guess I could just hand you the money back. Like I haven't even spent it yet.
But it's funny because he goes into a spiel about what compound interest means.
That was probably the best part.
He was like, because a compound you're borrowing on tomorrow's loan for next week's interest. And you're like,
interest gets added back in, and you pay interest on that on the principal.
All the while, his troop of females are like kind of calling, responding what he's saying. Compound, yeah. With interest, motherfucker, yeah.
Which was spectacular. That was really spectacular because he did actually legitimately explain compound interest, which is nice. Yeah, that was good. That was a lesson in finance right there. Like,
I
and you didn't like this movie? I've already learned two things.
I'm gonna come right out and say, like, this movie like had like a lot of like dumb humor, but there was also a lot of like subtle intelligence behind it. Like this was made by nerds with some reverence, even though it was tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the best things about this is that this movie, although starring almost an entirely a black cast, it was made by nothing but white guys. So it's like Hank Braxton, James Condillac, John Condillac, and Ashley Scott Myers, all 4 white guys. There's a Tim Johnson. There's no photo for him, so I don't know.
We can take a guess with that name.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, and Hank Braxton not only was the producer and one of the writers, but he also directed this film. So this film was 100% made by white people, which, I mean, whatever. It was fun. It was funny. So Ali Jaws shoots up the party. It ends up shooting, causing power surges to the growth ray that he is doing on the snake. But the other thing we learned about the snake likes a little, gets down on a fresh beat, yo.
It does. The snake is aroused by bass. Aren't we all though?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know I am. That's all there is to that.
Let's not forget one very important thing, which this movie would not have happened if Verkel was not creating a ray to enlarge his
his tiny snake.
His own tiny
his own snake. Yes, his own anaconda, if you will.
The hubris of man.
Apparently he needed a real snake subject to test it on before he could test it on his own junk.
Sure.
Yeah?
I mean, you never want to like be the first test subject. Like,
fun fact, also too. I was taking very detailed notes for a hot minute in this movie.
Good.
Did you see the piece of tape on the left side of the snake aquarium thing?
No.
And what it said.
I saw it, but I don't know if I caught what it said. Like it was one of those things where it caught my attention. Like, this is probably relevant, and then it went away.
Well, I caught the word guffin,
okay,
and then Mac spelled M-A-C, Mac Guffin, was the other snake's name.
That is
for-
spectacular.
Yeah, it was that. Apparently, that was their ode to film nerds. I don't know.
Yeah, good.
That's-
Kudos to them. Kudos to
That's
them.
excellent.
It's funny.
See, I'm telling you, like there's some subtle shit here.
There's, so this is definitely one of those movies, and this falls in line with a lot of movies that we review like this. Is that it starts off really, really strong. It has a very weak, slow middle, and then it just does something completely fucking bonkers for the end. And they're like, that'll make up for the fact that, we really only wrote a 45-minute movie and had to fill, 30 minutes somewhere. So that's what happened. Like, when they go off to like the strip club and they do all that stuff, and you have like the like police interrogation scenes, like all that, like the movie just, it slows to a slither.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Oh, that was spectacular. I'm not gonna lie, I wrote that like while I was watching it. I was like,
There was definitely no one
"Slow."
hissing at that joke.
There we go. That's two. We can do it. Anyways, so yeah, so that was but it's true. So once we get going, so we're at the party, shit starts getting blown up, and then what happens now? Now Cam and Allie Jaws are gonna chat after they've chatted, right? So now what do we got? Oh, Denzel comes. His name is Denz.
Cam gets knocked to the ground, and like he sees the snake slithering up, and like reaches out and like slaps Allie Jaws across the face with it, which is hilarious. But the real hero of this scene is Ms. Thessala Jones, who comes up with her own fucking Uzi.
That's the grandma. That's the grandma they stole the door jam from.
It probably
That must
That was
be.
probably
That's
her.
why she came over originally.
That's why she had the gun. Like she wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to be in the movie, and she came to shoot the place up.
Oh my
to
God,
get
that
her
would have
fucking
been.
door jam back.
That's the backstory I choose to believe.
That's canon.
That's I mean that's it. That's the story. That's spectacular. Yeah, so she comes, she rescues, and of course, she asks Cam if he has any drugs, and he's like, I'm not a fucking dealer, get out of here. And of course, so she wanders off, and then she decides she's gonna smoke her little apple bowl while she's walking off, and we get our is this our first snake killing, right?
Yeah, because
He-
the snake
he's the first.
has
Mhm.
escaped, and its unstable molecules are causing it to grow at an exponential rate to the point where it'll be large enough to eat a human soon, even a Twinkie.
Even a Twinkie. My ding dong's bigger than that Twinkie.
That's not even a big Twinkie.
That's a classic line.
That was good. That was really good. Yeah. So our first killer is the grandma. She's dead. So she's been eaten by the snake, or something by the snake, because it's not big enough to eat her yet, but it definitely rips through her. And then her snake heads off. We've got Denz has rolled up after we see we get our jab to the police moment where Denz and his new trainee are interrogating someone, and they look over, and he was like, oh, look, there's a murder in progress, and we see Ralph with the gun, and he was like, yeah, it's just some white girl with a gun, we're fine. And then Cam was like, give me that, and then he was like, "Wah!" So he starts running after him because it's a black guy holding a gun, and so he arrests Cam, he arrests Verkel, and he takes them off. Now he's going to take them off to jail, and this is when what's his name? What's the other guy's name? That's not Bee's Knees. Who's the other one?
Pinball?
Pinball, thank you.
Pinball. Yeah. So Pinball grabs the rest of the crew and is like, because Ralph says to him, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, go bail him out of jail. Like,
You got your audition tomorrow. You got to make it. This is your big break.
yeah. And she gets her great speech, Menorah out.
Menorah out.
And so, she was like, you got to get your shit together. And so they're like, all right, we got to go. So they concoct a plan. What's their plan? How are they going to get them out of jail, Josh? What did they decide to do?
I'm drawing a blank on that, man.
They're gonna go
I'm drawing a
rob.
blank there.
They're gonna
Oh,
rob.
that's
a
right. Oh
convenience
my
store.
God. Yeah. Oh,
So
that scene.
This scene was actually really funny too.
It was.
I
It
actually
was
really
pretty
like
funny.
this scene. Yeah, Yoon.
so they
This
go
scene
rob
reminded me of something out of like Harold and Kumar, to be quite honest with you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They go to rob a convenience store that's owned by a man named Yoon, who's wearing an apron that says "Make America Great Again," but he's crossed out America and written in Yoon. And they threaten him, and he's like, "Oh, really?" And pulls out a fucking shotgun and is like, "Come on, shoot me, shoot!" Like he's egging them on, and then he's like, "You didn't even ask me about the cash in the ATM or the safe in the back." They're like, "Were we supposed to ask that stuff?" He's like, "You didn't even shoot.
You didn't
out
even
the
shoot out the security cameras.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, this isn't even a real gun. Like, please don't kill us." And
He
shoots
throws
the
it at. Yeah, so Yoon shoots the security camera.
He throws
He's like,
throws his gun at the guy's
"Oh,
head.
you pussy, you threw a gun at me?" He was
I
like,
mean,
I didn't have any bullets.
I didn't have any bullets.
that's how you kill a vampire, though.
We learned this in episode 1 of the Noise.
Episode 1.
That's a callback to 140 episodes ago.
Wow.
That is a callback.
But Yoon is not a vampire, so it doesn't kill him.
So it doesn't kill him. He's like, ow.
But we learned that Yoon's not terribly happy at home. He doesn't have a great relationship with his wife, and his kids annoy the shit out of him. He's like, they can't even play video games on their own. They've got to watch other people do it on YouTube. After shooting out the security camera, he opens the register and like fills a bag of cash and like hands them a crowbar for the ATM. He's like,
And
I just took out a really large theft insurance policy, so like you're gonna help me out here today.
right. And they're like, oh, thank you. So they run off.
And then they're like, here, you should take some of this money we just stole from the ATM that you helped us rob.
Right.
You buy your wife something nice. And he's like, you don't even know my wife.
Of
Of course,
make Yoon great again.
Yeah, make
Yes.
Yoon great again. Yoon
There's
was
another
fantastic.
make something great again reference later on in this movie.
There
I
is.
was just, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
the-
good little jabs.
The producer
Yeah.
at the end, I think, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
says make rap great again, I think, or something.
No, make this record company great again.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
make this record company great. Yeah.
Which he comes up the stairs at one point blabbering like 45 too. It's like
Yep.
it was perfect that he made that reference later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his name is
Oh
the
yes,
Donald.
you're totally right. I
He's-
forgot about that.
He's like, we've got the best records, the biggest records here.
Yes.
And his
Most
name
tremendous
is
records.
the Donald. Yeah.
Of course. Okay, excellent. I'm glad that was a payoff there.
Yeah, right.
But the crooked cops show up. They roll up to get themselves a Slurpee because they're thirsty after deciding not to investigate the brutal deaths of a couple of unhoused people under the bridges in LA, because that's a lot of work and they just don't have time for that.
Right.
And they're just they're thirsty.
Nope.
But they see what appears to be a robbery in progress. Which of course it is. It is a robbery in progress.
It is literally a robbery in progress.
They're those cops that are always in the right place at the right time.
Yep.
Rolling up just at the right time.
Yep.
And so they run in to take the boys down. But the kids escape out the back, only to come face to face with the snake again. So they run back in and they're trying to tell, like, man, there's a snake out there tried to bite. Like, I'll try to bite you. I'm a wolf. I'll skin you and wear it like sheep's clothing. His analogies are fucking all over the place.
Oh,
Oh my god.
There's a snake. I'm a snake.
I mean, it's very like, a bad Denzel, but like he's parodying like Denzel pretty well with that.
That's good. Like, I didn't even catch during the movie that his name was Denz too. Like, that's
Yeah.
I
too
didn't either.
perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what he's credited as. I don't know if it ever actually says that's what it, like if they ever say it in the movie, but that's what he's credited as, which is great. So speaking of
Played
wolves,
by Justin Thenny.
Yeah. Speaking of wolves, so I got this message this morning, a little while ago, about an email. Where my girlfriend lives right now is kind of like out in the woods, up like off in the middle of nowhere. And she was like, "I got this email, and it's relevant to you today." So she got an email for like the residents of her local area, and it says, Eastern coyotes, Berkeley, our dogs get greatly agitated and charges across the field after what we think are Eastern coyotes, also known as coy wolves or coy dogs. And so she says, have a very good recording with the coy dogs. So, you guys are now the coy dogs.
I mean,
all right.
My last name is Coy. My first name literally means dog. They should just call me the Eastern Coyote.
You're just the Eastern Coyote. That's your new rap name.
So that would be like that would be like my Russian mobster name.
Yeah,
I am Eastern Coyote.
Hello, this is Eastern Coyote. That is spectacular. So before we head off to a break, really quickly, we want to thank you guys for coming back after the binge. Hopefully you enjoy our brand new logo that we debuted last week. It's pretty awesome.
That is an awesome logo.
Yeah, we're very excited for it. It looks really
That's
cool.
the only reason I agreed to come on the show, because I saw the logo.
I appreciate that. The only reason Caleb keeps coming back, he's like, you got to change our logo, man, or I'm not coming.
I was going to walk, and you came through.
I had to break the picket line for that. So thanks a lot for joining us and everything. So if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Go ahead and hit that subscribe or follow button, whatever your podcast platform of choice says to do. And if you are on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Smash that like button and ding that bell.
Oh boy. But yeah, so don't forget to that. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and leave us a rating review. It's super helpful. Help us get found. And it just makes me feel better about my life.
It's true.
I like compliments. But you can write negative on us too. That's fine. Do what you got to do. But if you were to want to reach us directly, you could do so on social media. We are on Twitter and Instagram at the Nahoit Podcast. That's the NHOIT Podcast. But where else can we be found?
Well, as we mentioned earlier, we have a beautiful website over at thenahoits.com where you can check out our schedule of episodes upcoming for the month, links to trailers, as well as where you can find these movies streaming if they are available. And once again, apologize if you read the description and then watch the movie and like this wasn't correct at all, because I'll be writing these descriptions momentarily and watching most of these movies throughout the rest of the month. So not my fault. But of course, if you want to learn more about the rest of the shows on the Night Shift Radio Network, you can head over to nightshiftradio.com/shows and check them out.
Yeah, you can. All right, thanks a lot. We're gonna go to a break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to a Night Shift Radio production. Night Shift Radio is a modern media company bringing you shows that entertain, inform, and most importantly, provide an escape. Never Heard of It dives into the world of bad, obscure, and sometimes just weird movies. Follow along with the crew of Set Condition 1 as they experience the 2004 sci-fi hit Battlestar Galactica, one episode at a time. Each week on Left of the Dial, we explore a new record or revisit an old favorite. We'll bring in guests to talk about their own music and the state of the industry. The Superpod Hero Cast, guys with beers talking about movies with capes. They draw a random comic-inspired movie from Thor's helmet and offer thorough, insightful, and humorous commentary. And once a month, tune into the Storyteller series and get lost in the magic of a good old-fashioned radio drama. Learn more about these fine shows at nightshiftradio.com and subscribe on your favorite platform.
Hello and welcome back. Oh, you were counting down. I wasn't even looking. Fuck! I ruined the whole show. God damn it.
God damn it, Michael.
Wait, okay, so where did we leave it? So they just robbed the convenience store. We met Yoon, the best character ever. We've seen them get arrested, right? So now they're at the Snake. Yeah.
Yeah, so the snake has snuck around to the front of the convenience store, and Dens has tried basically lured it in and then slammed the door in its face and like, haha, fucking snake, and like is standing there making fun of it, and Yoon kind of knocks the door open so that it like then just eats him, and his suffering is over, and he dies with a smile on his face.
Yeah, he was committing a suicide by snake in that scene.
Oh, poor Yoon.
I mean, we learned so much about him in those, that whole 2 minutes. He hates his life. He wants someone to shoot him. He wants to give away free money. Doesn't like his wife or
surprisingly developed
kids.
character for
Yeah. And then he just gives up on life right then and there. He's like, "Oh, great, a snake! This is my chance."
Here we go.
Rookie cop runs up like, "Do you speak English? We will get you a paramedic." It's like, "No, just let me bleed out. It's fine." Which, like, he's got like a little bit of a cut on his forehead from the plastic gun.
From the plastic gun, that's
at this point. But of course, gets eaten by the snake. Rest in power, Yoon. You will be missed.
And then at this point, this is the part where the snake ends up going into the sewer, right into the toilet,
And
then
down the pool hole.
Mm-hmm. So our cop runs after it and reaches in to grab the snake, right?
He's sort of like, so because it's still rookie cop's training day, he's still getting bossed around by Dens, who orders him to stick his hands in the hole where the toilet once stood.
Get in there, Mario.
Which is definitely, there's a lot of brown goop around the hole. I don't know who'd never cleaned this bathroom up or whatever.
Well, I mean, we know that it was Yoon, clearly.
Yoon doesn't give a shit about that
Yoon,
bathroom.
yeah, no, he does not give a shit about this bathroom.
He has more pressing concerns than a dirty convenience store toilet.
He really does.
True.
Poor Yoon.
But yeah, he's like he's basically bossing him to stick his hands down there to reach for the snake, which that's what I would think of if I saw a giant hole in the toilet where a snake once was. Like, let me reach my hand down there and see if I can pull it back out and maybe come back with a few less fingers.
And a gigantic fucking mutated snake.
Yes.
Yeah. I can make a list of bad ideas and that would be on it.
That's like that's also like my number one fear of like sitting on a toilet and a snake coming out, and that happens in Snakes on a Plane, and I'm like, yo, fuck this movie.
Yeah.
It also bites that woman's boob too. That's like in the beginning of the movie.
That movie was a goddamn classic.
You just reminded me.
Jaws did with like water.
You just reminded me of a key scene that we skipped over.
Oh,
can I go back a second?
Yeah, go back.
The two homeless guys. Just randomly, we see this scene with two homeless guys, like prior to all of this, and they're just chit-chatting, and the one guy's like, hey, I'm going to go defecate out in public because you can't use restrooms unless you're a customer. So he just goes over to a bush. Like his other friend goes into this tent to sleep apparently.
Yeah.
And he starts to leans over, starts doing his business, and then from off the screen, like they do this wide shot, and off the screen, the snake comes slithering in from behind him, and you can guess what happens after that. The guy does not make it.
Right up through.
All the way up through.
There's a little chest burst. Yep.
The chest burst. He goes over and knocks on his friend's tent. Wait, he's like, hey, what are you doing in my tent?
Help me.
So there's some great.
That's another of our worst fears right there.
About
chest bursting. Yeah, that's
chest bursting.
So
some great commentary about homelessness in America and about substance abuse and addiction.
Oh my God, it was great.
The comment about the restaurants being for customers only, excluding people who don't have homes or money. But my favorite part about that entire thing is he brings an old porno mag to read while he's shitting. He's like, don't know why people read erotic magazines while defecating, but I'm gonna keep doing it.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
He said something about arousing material.
Yeah, arousing material. Thank you. Yes.
I'm gonna keep doing it. Oh man, that was great. Yeah, the other line about the addiction one was actually pretty. It was pretty intelligent too, because he says he's like, hey, do you have any drugs? He's like, of course I do. Why do you think I'm still here? It's because of my addiction.
Yes.
He tosses him the drugs. It's like, oh damn.
He specifically says, "Do you have any narcotics?"
Oh, you have any narcotics? Of course I do. That's why I'm homeless.
It was such a
that's
bummer because
spectacular.
like that guy quickly became my favorite character, and he lasted all of 2
great.
minutes.
It was so funny. They were both great. That was super funny.
But then there's the fuck are you doing in my tent, you homeless piece of shit?
Oh, spectacular. So this is the part of the movie that I was talking about that it kind of everything dips a little bit. So a lot happens. So we learned that at some point at the convenience store, Verkel ends up thinking that he's the snake trainer master, but the snake just ends up fucking eating him. But then he gets spit back out, but he gets infected. So this is where the movie turns into like a zombie movie.
It goes a little off the rails because he kind of becomes Serpentor. Actually, no, he becomes Cobra Commander when he was
Cobra
becoming a
Commander.
snake.
Yep,
Yep.
100%.
Once a man.
Which is funny. So this movie was made in 2018, and definitely I got Cobra Commander vibes, but nobody made any like Voldemort jokes at all.
No.
Like, there was no Harry Potter jokes about like a snake or anything, right? That I noticed.
No, because you know
And I
what?
feel
Fuck
like
J.K.
that's-
Rowling.
I know, but like it's really fucking obvious humor. Like they could have, they could have called Verkel Voldemort like 30 times and it would have worked. But
Verkelmort.
yeah,
This movie's way too highbrow for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
ain't got time for transphobic pieces of shit. But
What's a man? Even like so we mentioned earlier, like the rap battle scene where like Alley Jaws challenges Cam and like they go to throw down, and Alley Jaws is like the worst rapper of all time. But like just before, or like as he ends his battle sequence, like his closing line is something like, I'll put your dick in my mouth, and everyone's just like, whoa, dude,
What?
like
he was like, I'm not gay, Dad.
There's- I don't want you to do that, but there's nothing wrong with that, and you should learn to embrace your feelings. It's like, you know what? Good for you. Like,
Good for you. That was good information. Yeah. And we also learned
you're taking the high road here.
he might be into some BDSM too.
He might be.
He gets arrested and they start putting the cuffs on him. He's like, oh, what do you do? Oh, tighter.
tighter.
Can you do that tighter? Actually,
I mean, he's wearing that mesh tank top the entire time. Like, if you
mean-
didn't see it coming, then you weren't paying attention.
It was right there. Yeah. I mean, good for him. I hope he expresses himself and learns to not shame his own kinks.
Yeah, exactly. Don't yuck your own yums.
Yes.
To go along with that, the mesh tank top at the ending credits of the movie, there's all these like,
Like
instead
the
of
profile cards?
like lines of text going through, they're showing credits for each of the actors in the film with their own old school like rap CD cover. Like the ones where there's
Total
like
album
just
covers.
a really photoshopped cutout picture of them like doing some weird like motion, and then some like guns or money signs around him, stuff like that. And his card was him with his mesh tank top like caressing his nipples with like two gold AK-47s on around his dome.
Yes.
So I thought that was
That'd
pretty
probably
clever.
be my rap cover. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely
looks dope.
That should be the cover for this episode.
Worth like pausing on each of those and reading like the track name, the track titles too, because I got like one of the track one for Rel was Menorah Out.
I love that.
Yes.
And so they all had like little in jokes for the character. But yeah, so like Cam tries to throw down and the beat's like really slow and dragging, and
He keeps like redoing it and like messing it up because they're just
he's-
fucking with him.
flailing, and he keeps trying to say like, this beat's terrible, it's sabotage, like I'm better than this, and like they send God, I'm already drawing a blank. It's not pinball.
Pinball.
Pinball,
Yeah.
They send Pinball up to lay down some real beats, and then he just he smokes Alley Jaws.
Yep.
And-
Oh yeah. He did good. Yeah. So he wins the rap battle. So content warning. So obviously there is some violence. There's a lot of F words. And in this scene, they are actually in a strip club, and we do see boobs like once or twice. But
including
that's
one
about
pair
it.
that explodes.
But you see
Yes.
boobs, but no nipples, randomly.
Pasties.
Yeah. So
Yep.
everyone's just wearing pasties.
American Star pasties, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Nice boobs. You won the DNA lottery.
So I'd like to take a moment to point out that Bee's
Sit right
Knees.
there and tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
No. You need to be quiet for a moment.
Sorry.
Bee's Knees, like they keep hyping him up as like this sick rapper, like he's got these crazy beats and everything. So like every time like it gets to be like his turn, like he walks up and like he puts on his hood and gets ready, like hypes himself up, and then someone interrupts him. So like he never gets to actually rap until the very end. But you'll also notice that in every scene he has a different item of food in his hand. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got a sandwich, a burger,
my
at one point a
God.
banana.
A banana.
He's always eating.
That's great. He was the one with a Twinkie. That was his thing.
Yes.
I love it. Bee's Knees.
Oh,
So now we've got the
My
strip club
ding
scene.
dong's bigger than that Twinkie.
Yeah, but a big Twinkie. So we've left the strip club scene. The snake is now gigantic. We've seen that Verkel is going through some sort of change. Other people are being infected. So now it's gone full on zombie movie, but the snake is now ginormous, just swallowing people whole, without any trepidation, I guess. So now we get there, but we realize that like the audition is today. They still have to try to make it there. Denz, and the other cop realize that, oh shit, the snake is attracted to music. He's like, so they're in front of the Capitol Records or Capital Letters Records and
Uppercase records.
uppercase records. That's right.
Yep.
I
Couldn't say
totally missed that
capital,
reference.
so.
That's
Yeah,
oh, I'm ashamed of myself for not getting that reference.
it was good. It was pretty good.
Well, somehow, meanwhile, between that, the strip club thing, or maybe during, I don't know, it was like between that and the climactic scene at the uppercase
tower.
building, he has time to go home in his, mutated, he's starting to turn into a snake. You start to see patches of like scales and stuff on
Yeah,
him.
he's got the
or
snake
snake
fangs.
skin. He somehow has time to go home and craft this one batch of antidote that's enough for either a giant snake or one human. Apparently, he's like, I can use it on myself, or you can take this vial and
You can't just like give yourself a little bit and
a
then
little
the rest
bit
for the
just a
snake.
little
Like
bit.
you're confident that this is the exact dosage that you need for the snake. Like there's no room for error here at all.
And the freaking the syringe needle is like this big.
It's a
Like
foot
how-
and a half long.
If
And
you
it's
were
just like flopping
deciding-
around half the time.
If you were deciding to give it to this giant snake yourself, where are you going to stick it in yourself?
Also, how did he procure such a gigantic syringe and needle anyway? It's like,
I mean,
Very good
he's
point.
a scientist, so but
Very
where
like,
did he get any of this stuff? Where did he get a
Right.
growth rate?
it's true.
How did his roommates not notice he was building a growth ray?
Right. I feel like
What are
that's
the
some shit you-
power? What are the power requirements? How did that not notice their $2,000 electric bill?
Right.
Come on.
It's kind of weird. Our bill was very large yesterday, and your room keeps glowing blue. Should I be?
That's why he had to
concerned?
borrow. His roommate had to borrow that money.
Right.
It wasn't for the demo. It was for the fucking electric bill.
They had the demo in the bag the whole time. They did it on their laptop.
Right. The
Here's
devil's
the
all
money.
like GarageBand, but everything was to pay for the electric bill.
Oh my
Causing
God.
brownouts all over Compton, and no one can figure out why.
So we've got
The hidden
Verkel as
subplot of the movie.
the whole movie. Right.
And that's
Talk about-
canon.
And that's it. That's how we know. So at this point, so everything's going down. Can't all the crews back together, and they're like, okay, shit, we got to do this. And then at one point, we have the fucked up scene, where we have to mention it because it's necessary.
Oh yes. Yep.
I'm just gonna say it. Verkel fucks the snake. I mean, Verkel. He fucks the snake.
I mean,
So Neon and Cam start kind of getting it on, like Friday style, like on the couch in the house in Compton, and Verkle, who has a Laura-like crush on this neon
Yes.
chick,
Yep.
who's, she's always like, "Oh, you're a good friend. What would I do without you?" And then he thinks it as he interprets that as like, "Oh my God, she loves me, Lara."
Right,
And then he
right.
sees this happening, and somehow, in his jealousy, he starts making these he starts yelling, and the snake comes over because I don't know if the snake hears the music that's blaring or whatnot while they're like getting it on, and he decides to get his sexual frustrations out. He's just gonna have his way with the snake, and the snake's like, sure, get right into my scale.
Oh God.
Like,
Oh.
I don't even know if the positioning made any sense. The very first time they show his like humping motion, I thought the snake was actually humping Verkel.
I don't know.
And then the truth is revealed in one scene later.
Reptile Twitter really is going to come for us for this.
Oh my God.
Mhm. Yep.
They're coming after us. Oh yeah, I do like. So there's a callback earlier where the cops are in the convenience store, and he was like, "Oh my God, it's a giant snake." He's like, "Oh shit, it's a 2743B." And he was like, "There's a code for a giant snake eating a person." He was like, "Well, it doesn't necessarily specify a snake. Any reptile, really." Which is really funny. Which is pretty good. So now we've
really
got
memorized the numbers for every animal, by the way,
every single
that they
one
might encounter.
It's probably on a test of their 300 hours of training.
Okay, fair enough. I'll believe it.
I mean, they got to cover the important things.
Right.
Not like how to actually police.
Right. Protect and serve. No. We're going to focus on the codes of reptiles eating people.
Code for reptile eating a person. Go.
I mean, in all fairness, depending on the county you live in, that might be a code you see more often.
Yeah, and you probably want to know how to call that
Right.
in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's probably, like you said, some swamp in Florida that's like, either like no one has ever died from another human in our city, but there's been a lot of crocodile eating.
Imagine the dispatch trainee who hasn't memorized all the codes yet and has to like scramble to look that one up in the book. Like, oh fuck, oh my God.
He's been eaten already by the time he looks that up.
He's done. He's like, the snake is halfway, eating his body. Hey, all right, it's code 27. Oh, poor cop. Just kidding. So now we're at the basically the end of the movie. So Verkle has gone full on Serpentor, like full on Cobra Commander. Like, he's a fucking snake at this point.
I'm pretty sure his makeup / snake head-ish thing is oh gosh, I don't know if you guys have reviewed this. Bowser from the Mario Brothers movie.
Yes, 100%.
I'm pretty sure it's the same exact head.
We haven't done that one because we wanted to try to get into Retro Game Con one time and do that as a live episode, and we weren't able to swing it. So we haven't. But maybe someday we will.
Maybe someday we will.
Now you have some fodder for that one.
Yeah. So he's gone on that. We've got our zombie snake horde for some reason. That's a thing that never really gets resolved.
Why not?
That just kind of happens.
Yeah.
And then so now we know that we have the giant snake that's coming up the record tower in the record label place. They're playing their music. They're going to do their audition, but also play the music because they know that the snake is attracted to music. They have to stab the snake with the serum in the heart. They accidentally get it in his head, so it doesn't work. So Cam gets the needle, and he ends up getting swallowed by the snake, and you see him swimming through the snake guts. And this is Neon's point to use her super duper high note to basically drop the snake at this point. And then Cam saves the day, smashes the needle into the snake, and the end, I guess.
You missed what was my favorite part of this battle sequence is they wrap the snake into submission as it's climbing the tower to eat Rel, and as it's paralyzed by their sick beats, you see it start to flash like a video game boss before Cam runs up like anime style and jumps with the syringe like he's gonna stab it, only to be eaten.
Yep.
It's very like Go Ninja rap style. Like instead of turtle references, snake charmer references.
Yep.
And
Yep. Yeah,
there's
somebody
there's
does
a
make
throwback to like King Kong as well, like the
Yep.
snake like slithering up the building and
going after the
like
girl.
jets flying. Somehow jets knew, like the army or Air Force, whatever, like knew that there was a snake, and they're shooting missiles at the building that their people are inside and on top of, and the missiles have no effects.
Yeah.
There's civilians on that building, sir. I don't see anything. Copy that. Fire away.
It didn't matter.
Yep.
The building didn't even shake.
Yeah, right. It didn't even matter.
It was a direct hit on the snake every time. Like they never missed a single time because, God bless the troops.
Yeah.
They've got lots of practice shooting at gigantic snakes wrapped around buildings. So they were like, just another Friday.
So yeah, that's Snake Outta Compton. They got that snake.
And they got the snake, and they sure did. And we closed with
And they got their record deal.
They get their record deal. The Donald, says like, oh, this is exactly what we need. We're going to revitalize. We're going to make the record label great again. And, this is it. And, the yay, everybody wins. And then we get our first cut scene, because there are two cut scenes in our snake universe here. Our first cut scene is Ellie Jaws working at a place, and he's taking the trash out, and two ninjas come up to him.
Why not?
For some reason. Right.
Fucking
might
ninjas.
as well. Right. It's fucking. He's like, are you guys really ninjas?
You guys ninjas?
It's worth noting that the way if they would have ended it where they did, I was just like, did they not resolve? Like, did they forget to resolve like the Verkle character?
Right.
Like,
right.
It was
This
just like
important.
he was in a building chasing away, the zombies, so they could get upstairs to the top of the building to kill the snake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, spectacular!
Well, and Rookie Cop had been taken down by the zombie snakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the last we see of him.
Yes.
Until this scene.
Until this scene.
Two heroes arrive to save Ellie Jaws from the ninjas, and it's Verkle and his sidekick.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, so Verkle and his sidekick, they take out the ninjas, and he's like, and now we're going to go. We've eradicated all the ninjas out of Compton, so now we must go. He's like, wait, where are we going to go? It's pretty spectacular. And that's our first cut scene. And then we have our second cut scene, which is just fucking random.
Like it's a couple of kids filming vertical video style, like skateboarding or something like that, and they're like, "Whoa, check out that crazy guy!" And it's Den's all covered in snake goo. He must have been ejected when the snake was killed by the anti-mutagen syringe or whatever, and he's like, "Yo, you can't kill me." And then he's like, "Make sure you hit that like button and you subscribe at the link below." I'm a wolf.
Yeah, so hey guys, should you watch Snake Out of Compton?
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Fuck yes.
Josh is gonna say no, but hell yeah.
In all fairness, Tubi did start playing something like a kind of like an auto playing something right after, maybe I hit a button or whatever, and I was like, it's totally gonna play something based on what I just watched, so I immediately like backed out of whatever was happening. I didn't even take a
move. Yeah, that's actually how we get about 80% of our content is by whatever suggested next from the last terrible thing that we watched.
Right.
I did have to rewind one scene if I have time to like make
of course
address my last note of this whole thing. Caleb already addressed there's a random dream sequence where he mentions Rutherford B. Hayes.
Yeah.
Tupac and Biggie.
Biggie and Rutherford B. Hayes, because those are three things you dream about. But the only other note I had during this rooftop scene, and them kind of talking to this record exec person. I don't know if you spotted, I had to rewind it, like, you know, my little 15-second rewind button, because I'm like, what the hell is going on? This random guy. So if this is me in the frame, you know, the 3/4 close-up frame of the Don talking, you know, right, very, very subtly off frame, you see this guy start like going, like just like freaking out. I'm like, this character has not even been introduced. Nothing to do with what's going on. It's just some random guy freaking out in the background. And when you like rewind and look closely, he's like doing lines of coke in the background, like, and then he makes one reference, like they reference this character one more time when he's talking about signing these guys at the very end, and he like opens up like the contracts and just white powder is falling off the contracts.
Okay,
so I was just like, what does this have to do with anything until that scene happened? So that was that was some intelligent comedy, but you had to really be digging for it.
You got to be paying attention to every scene.
Oh man, that's spectacular. So Snake Outta Compton.
Yes, you should all watch it again.
You should watch it again. I fucking missed that part. So Snake Outta Compton is streaming for free on Tubi TV. Definitely, I say give it a watch.
Yeah. It was genuine good fun.
It was genuine good fun. I enjoyed it. It was a lot better than I expected. I expected like, you know, every other shitty, you know, Sharknado-esque type giant CG monster thing, but it was actually a pretty clever parody of a lot of good films. So that was pretty fun. So we got a crazy month of this coming up too. So we had Josh on. Josh suggested Snake Outta Compton, and this is it. We forced him to watch it too. But next week we've got a movie called Primer, which is supposedly a really wacky time travel film. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I actually saw that movie cited in like a YouTube video explaining like the mechanics and like consequences of time travel in
that movie is amazing, by the way.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, so we're excited.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Very looking forward to that. I think this whole month is going to be great, and I think we needed a bit of a break to let other people make choices for us, because we can't be trusted anymore.
We can't be trusted after the first 3 movies of this month, aside from the last one. Oof. And then after that, we've got The Beast of War. So we're going to hop into that. And then I think it's the last one of the month. We've got Stay Tuned, which is a classic, like, I think it's late 80s, early 90s film. But that one was actually requested by Andrea, who is the co-host of Set Condition 1, one of our Battlestar Galactica fan casts.
Do we have more than one? Have we rolled out a second one?
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys.
It's focused entirely on Galactica 1980.
Right. They just coincide.
The one season.
But Stay Tuned is that's going to be a good one. That was one of my favorite movies growing up, so I'm really excited to talk about that one.
John Ritter, all right.
John Ritter's the main character. Yeah.
And once again, everyone who submitted picks for this, we thank you, and we're definitely going to do our best to get to them as soon as we can, and keep them coming in. Like we'll keep filling months like this, because this was great. We're really excited to finally be getting some interaction from y'all and see the movies that make you maybe second guess your choices.
So, Josh, if anyone were to want to find you on some sort of social media, where should they go? Like, you're a musician, you put out a lot of great music. You are we have 50% of the legendary rock group Long Since Forgotten right now.
Current band can be found at sympathy.band.
Cool.
Sympathy.band is the website. LSF Josh is my Twitter handle if you guys want to, harass me there.
And you got yourself a YouTube channel too, right?
Is that my Twitter handle?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I didn't.
Yeah. And then Josh, you have a YouTube channel as well. We'll link that down below so everyone can check it out. You've been putting out some cool stuff lately.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. What is my channel handle here? How do I find what my actual handle is?
I've always just searched for you by your name, and I think it might actually be just Josh Coy. I mean, that is your name, but
yeah.
Either way,
so if I get in on a platform early enough, I just try to get Josh Coy as my handle. So
right.
Sense.
Yeah, either way, link down below. So all you have to do is just go ahead and click that link down below. It is just Josh Coy. And check it out. There's a lot of cool things. Does some, most recently did a couple of really cool covers. Specifically of a Get Up Kids song, Stay Gone. I was
Oh,
excited
yeah.
about that one. Yeah. Yeah, so thanks a lot for joining us, everyone. And we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Yay.